What's going on, everybody? Got Shadow here in Modern. Today, playing Jeskai again. So I've talked to a couple of people who sent me mails and messages, and we're playing Jeskai today because a couple of people were referring to Jeskai, and someone mentioned that he was playing a very similar guys list with Steel of the Gods head. And he was happy about that, and I do see that it has many perks to play Steel of the God head, especially like in something like our list where we run Lightning Angels that is being supported by Steel of the God head as well, really neatly. Then Spellquella, of course, Guys of Sandcraft, which it is usually meant for, because if you have a 4/4 lifelink unblockable with a 4/4 angel coming into play, that's usually lights out pretty fast. And then there is, I mean, the same can be said for Lightning Angel though. You want to have a certain amount of targets, of course, to utilize the Steel of the Godhead, so it's just not a dead card. But the Steel is, like, I don't like having dead cards in certain scenarios. And as fine as Steel is racing, as bad it is in control matchups where you first need to get a Geist out, then you have to wait a turn in order to deploy your Steel, because you don't want to tap out for 6 mana in turn unless your opponent tapped out before, and maybe he has a verdict or whatever. So, but at some point we certainly are going to try out Steel of the Godhead. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, so the other thing is that some of the fellow Grixis players are, I mean, most Grixis players are structuring their deck differently to what we are doing here on the channel. And the reason that I'm playing a certain amount of creatures and no Search for Skanta in Grixis is just that Jace's Prodigy synergizes a lot better, and also in, say, some control matchups where you're playing, blue-white control, it doesn't even matter if they path it turn 2 or if it just lives and gives you card advantage. That way, you're happy with either way. They most likely won't path the second copy, or you can then protect it. You're up on resources. You can start looping. And most importantly, of course, our creature suit gives us some advantages in both post-boarded games where people are bringing in, all the counter squalls, negates, dispels, all that kind of stuff, where we can just, deploy our creatures and they don't have answers for them anymore, which is important. And on the other hand, of course, just aside from synergies and diversification, it's also important to note that in very aggressive metas, Search for Skanta is strictly worse than Jace, unless you're running Lightning Helix or something, that can support some form of life gain in order to keep you in the game for a little bit longer. Because for Grixis, like certain matchups such as Burn and some very aggressive matchups are not very good unless you can use all your removal, and Jace really helps in those matchups. He provides a blocker, and you can flip it, you can just shrink down a creature or take it completely out of the game, and most importantly of all, it's also coming down against a Thalia turn 2, where you would, maybe just not have a play usually. And when you're like on 2 lands and you only have, I don't know, maybe a Terminate in hand, a Logic Knot, whatever. So yeah, there's a reason, of course, behind the way we structure our board, our main board, and the same goes for our sideboard. all the creatures here try to interact with each other on a similar axis. So is it Zedicaster by itself? Is good defensively, is not good as an offensive spell, and many people don't like it for that reason. And in the beginning, you know, when like a year ago, I wouldn't have played Is it Zedicaster as well because of that matter. I wanted it to be able to attack. But Is it Zedicaster is so good, like it makes all of our other colors better, right? In the matchups we wanted, like something as a 2 power, like 2 toughness, and together with Liliana the Last Hope, you're clearing like 1 toughness and 2 toughness creatures. If you have multiples, 3 toughness creatures. If you play Phyrexian Scriptures alongside it, you can also attack with it. Scorpion God makes its Zedicaster better, it is, and vice versa, right? Grim Lavamancer, same thing. Bolts, Kolaghan's Command, P and Kiran Lars, all these cards make each other better. And that's why they are, you know, like having complementary cards is just such a huge benefit in the way you're structuring your game and your game plan. So back to Jeskai though, where we usually have a good, like I watched the SCG Open top 8, only the top 8 during the last weekend, and there was a Hollow One playing against Gerard Fabiano on Jeskai control, and I was like, all right, I mean Jeskai has to draw really badly to lose to Hollow One, or Hollow One has to have, you know, really draws like 2 Hollow Ones on turn 2 or something, and of course that can happen. But in a best of 5 round, as a Jeskai player, you should usually have enough tools, and he was playing like 3 verdicts and stuff, you know, but he was also playing like 3 or 4 planeswalkers, and it's just a very clunky list. And then he brought in an additional 5 drops in Lyra. So yeah, in that regard, so alright, this is not an optimal hand, but we do have Geist, which is good in certain matchups. Of course, he's bad in others. And yeah, so looking at our sideboard here, this deck is meant to be like, I'm switching decks according to the meta, because I think, generally speaking, Grixis is the better, more value-oriented deck. Are we playing Storm? And I hope we can deploy Geist and not just lose. We of course do have a Logic Knot backup, so that's something good. I'm gonna shock here in case he plays a Baral or something. Then we can opt and bolt. Alright, that's some sort of Jeskai list. Mana League. No remands. So not 100% sure what's going on here. I guess he doesn't have another counterspell in hand, otherwise. Alright, does have a Flooded Strand as well. Well, we're gonna try again. Alright. Let's see what our opponent's up to here. Spy Bluff Canal, like, it's really awkward. if he's playing like a Jeskai, really Jeskai control list. And he's playing a lot of cantrips. Maybe he's playing like Jeskai through the breach or something, but that same thing. Like if you're playing cryptics or through the breaches, then you usually aren't playing a Spiral of Canals. So he could be playing his own guys of Centraft, of course. That'd be a very reasonable possibility here. Alright, he's a Jeskai Storm deck. And now I think I know what he's playing. He's also playing Thing in the Ices. I think he's trying to bolt us out in the end of the whole thing here. Then it was even more unfortunate that we got countered, got our guys countered here. But we only need 2 turns. Next turn he should be dead, unless he wins now. I'm not playing Lightning Angel there, because we have the burn that is necessary in our hand, and in case something happens here, yeah, Thing in the Eyes, exactly what I thought. Let's see. Yep. So just in case he has a counter spell, or is up to something else that's no good, maybe we should have played around the spell PS here by just using Logic Knot. Alright, so he's playing Path of Exiles, which is also interesting to note. We're happily bringing in these Dispels and Rest in Peace. Of course, Rest in Peace makes our Logic Knot somewhat worse. We do need to keep Path of Exiles in. These are also pretty alright. Well, what do we want to get rid of? So of course we're burning our opponent out, but I think by determining that he is a very aggressive, combo-centric creature deck, like he's banking on Titi and bolts to kill us. How are we best racing that? I definitely like Spellcaller here. probably want to get rid of Electrolyze. Lightning Angel might be a little bit too mana intense. And Rest in Peace probably replaces one Search for Skanta. Of course, Search for Skanta is good, but it's significantly worse in combination with Rest in Peace. We should just get rid of both then. Yeah, probably like this. Alright, it's not a perfect hand, but we're on the draw. We have a couple of lands. Our opponent is on a mulligan. So, yeah, we're gonna take this. In case he's playing like Pyromancies or something. Can handle that. Spellcaller is a pretty good draw in the matchup. He's probably just deploying Counterbalance. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh man. Yeah, he's playing a lot of one mana stuff. I'm gonna be a little bit cautious here as to our life total. So let's see if he does have Lightning Bolt. Yep. All right. So this thing though, yeah, on the stack it should have 1 mana as its converted mana cost. So we can't play it before the Lightning Bolt resolves, before he draws the Lightning Bolt. Therefore, we're gonna wait here up until end of turn. Maybe we should have played Lightning Bolt before that, just to find out. Alright, Monastery Mentor. So that thing is dead. Yeah, he's playing Monastery Mentor instead of Young Pyromancer. Right. So Counterbalance basically was 1-for-1. I think I'm just gonna deploy Snapcaster Mage here and look for something with our opt. Because we have so many reactive spells in our hand, and we know that he has at least one Monastery Mentor in hand. Yeah, that's probably a top. And okay, he's declining to fetch. Might indicate that he's also playing Chases, although I find that not very likely. That he's not playing anything here all the time. That's really strange. Is he waiting for us to use the Field of Ruin? Does he want to blank something here? Lightning Angel, since we know that he has a couple of good threats in hand, I'm not gonna deploy that yet. We also know that he has a lightning bolt, which he's apparently declining to play. Another counterbalance. You know, these spots are really, you know that there's something going on. And I think now we just try to get us another blue source. He does have another lightning bolt though, that we know about. We could logic not for 4. I'd say let's test the waters here. Let's see what he does. If he counters it, that's fine. If he plays his bulldog, that's fine as well. Alright. Maybe he's playing stuff like increasing vengeance in order to duplicate his burn spells. It's also important to note, of course, that he declined to play any threat up until this moment, like the Monastrumenta. All spells in hand. So we could deploy a spell queller here. Just to have something going on. Spell queller, of course, doesn't really line up well against his burn spells, but that's fine. If we collect a little more cards in our graveyard, then I'll play out Lightning Angel as well. Not the Lightning Helix. Yeah, he seems to be flooded with reactive spells. And next turn, I think we're going to deploy the Lightning Angel. Alright, so that he waited for 5 mana here, definitely a sign that he has a counterspell that he could decline to play up until now. So 3, 2, 3, it doesn't really matter, right? We're just gonna get countered and then we kill it with the Lightning Bolt. Which is good for us because then he won't get value out of it. Hopefully a remand. No. Interesting. Well then, you know, I'm super fine with this trade. The only thing that we have to be careful about is, alright, is Titty. Lightning Angel definitely is a problem for him, unless he didn't board out the Path of Exiles, which would be awkward. So he's digging. And as I said, like the only card I really don't want to see here is a Titty. But I expect him to have a couple of dead cards now. So this deck is, you know, yeah, focus. Second one. Alright, let's keep that one in hand. It does. That's mean. Yeah, well, that's not doing anything anymore. Boop. Alright, lethal next turn, if we wanted to. See if you can get rid of the rest in peace. Or what else he has in hand. And here again, the fourth power of toughness, yeah, is really relevant for our opponent. Let's see. If we get to counter, oh, Pact of Negation, oh my god. Sure. It's really relevant because we just 2-for-1 him and he has one card left in his deck. Now we're just gonna go with the Colonnade here. Coming in. We can't do much this turn. Yeah, and I think you can see it, yeah, sure. Alright, off to round number 2. Interesting matchup there. Something that you don't meet very often. And yeah, I'll make a quick break and see you guys in round number 2. Alright guys, welcome to round number 2 with Jeskai. And yeah, so we've built our deck to be super anti-graveyard interactions, be it spells or be it anything else. Our exile effects are really good in those kind of matchups. And that's also the only spot I really wanted to, or would want to be on Jeskai, because like the white really gives you the capability of hating on those. Oh shit, what did I do? What did I do? There's Lyra. So the only card missing for me in paper is Lyra here, which I didn't get my hands on yet. But I'll probably trade her tomorrow. And then I got the 75 of this deck as well, which I'm pretty happy with. Pretty cool. Pew pew. Don't like having two landers. Is it Storm? Yep. Alright, so we're meeting all the combo matchups here. Apparently. Alright, we have a third land at least. But we still, like, we're on the draw this time. There's no way we can tap out turn 3 for a Geist. Unless he doesn't find a second land, then that would be fine. But... Alright, well, maybe. Our wishful thinking will be heard. But this, oh my god. Now you should have seen, yeah. I mean, that would be awkward. So we have a lot of burn in our hand. It really stands to argue here what we want to do. I'm gonna go end of turn Lightning Helix, fetch for 3, just so that we can burn him out if we have the capability to. So let's assume that he has a really good hand, otherwise he wouldn't have had held one lander. Let's further assume that we would live through one turn with our guys, right? So that we could theoretically attack for 6 and he goes to 8. And then we do have 2 lightning bolts to put him to 2 and still yet cannot kill him unless he shocks. But if we just keep playing Snatch something important off with a spell queller, no matter what it would be, then we can maybe chip him for 6 damage, find a Snapcaster Mage and just finish it up. Or is he playing Jeskai? Why would someone play Flooded Strand in the Storm deck? I'm confused. I'm just keeping the burn now, because I don't know what's going on here. So gifts I give him, yeah. So he definitely wants to combo off next turn. And after all these, like, we wouldn't have opted, so we wouldn't have known about the Lightning Helix yet. We would have just played out the guys. Let's say we, you know, all things equal. So I'm definitely not giving him remand. Put that one to the graveyard. And put Monomorphose to the graveyard. That way, if he goes for Paretic Ritual there, we can probably... Alright. So you fetch for a basic island, which is important here. If we can get the first Paretic Ritual, he probably just has a dead turn here, because he doesn't have access to red anymore, and he also doesn't... Well, So we're gonna chip in here for 2. Even if he manages to kill our spell caller this turn, we should be good. But I think I'm just gonna counter this. Alright, I think we did everything correctly here. Being a little cautious about everything. And utilizing him being mana stuck to our advantage. Alright, we want to have dispels. We want to have rest in peace. And I think so I'm gonna cut the lightning angels. I'm definitely not gonna cut the Geists. Soul Wreckage. Path of Exile, of course, isn't the greatest in the matchup. Usually we have enough spot removal in Burn that we don't need Path to be of relevance. Of course it can matter, but you know, usually doesn't. Sell the Wreckage, important because it's very difficult for him to combo out without a graveyard. Whoops, where do I hide those now? But I'm still not confident. Like, again, Search for Scanter, Rest in Peace, not a great combo. And the same goes for Logic Knot, but Search for Scanter still having like the ramp and all that stuff really good. Yeah, I think this is it. We do have the counter magic, we do have the disruption, we have the burn. And Storm is a matchup where you usually really like to have spells now. Alright, it's a good hand. Our Logic Knot's a little bit not good here, but we wouldn't be able to play it anyway, and the spell hopefully provides us with the means to fight through whatever's coming. Alright, so we do have another land here, therefore I'm not going to play out the recipes yet. But rather do it now. Recipes, of course, important to. He's bringing in 4 pieces of the puzzle, and justified control, and of course, yeah, that's very good. So maybe he's going with Gifts Ungiven, and I think we're just going to dispel that. Or does it even matter? It doesn't matter that we dispel Gifts Ungiven. He basically spent 2 for just 2. I think that's fine, considering that, you know, it goes away anyway, and we can decide what's going to the graveyard and what's not. Just want to have the dispel in turn in case you know is trying to get us here, and then go Baral and make a big token army. Also, we're indicating that we don't have a dispel here, because you wouldn't usually always counter the gifts. But we have to be extra cautious, I think, in the long game with the recipes in game. Yeah, see, alright, just sent us the reveal card zone first. Repeal. Well, repeal certainly going to the graveyard. And I think pieces of the puzzle is going to the graveyard as well. Could of course also just throw Baral and Goblin Electromancer under the bus. But we do have a Lightning Bolt. Maybe it's just repeal and Baral. Maybe pieces of the puzzle isn't that relevant. Repeal is very annoying though. But if he were to cobble something together, it probably involves pieces of the puzzle. But if he's stepping out this turn for pieces, that'd be fine as well, right? Yeah, I think we're just going with this. If you place Electromancer, is repeal relevant? No. I'm doing this because if he taps out for repeal here, we're just gonna dispel it. We do have one Lightning Bolt, but you know. If he has an additional creature in hand, and that's like the main thing he needs. Yeah, there's Empty the Warrens and the Dispel. Oh my god. Exiled Empty the Warrens, so he already has a win condition in hand. Could of course just go for Rest in Peace here, second copy. And maybe that's even worth it. Let's see. So I think he has Emptied the Warrens in hand already. He took the Monomorphose and the Dispel. We gave him the repeal. We're just gonna play the second copy of Rest in Peace here. Yeah, of course. I mean, the Dispel isn't great for us. So he's going for it again. This time we're not countering because of the Dispel. And of course, he can play around rest in pieces rather easily. I think I'm just gonna go after his mana now. Yeah, we're a little stuck, and being down on mana against Storm, of course, isn't the greatest. We can also not race him, assuming that he does have Empty the Warrens. If we tab out for Geist, then we're just probably facing 8 to 16 Goblin tokens the next turn. Oh, did I pass the whole turn? Shit. At least he has to discard 2. That is something positive. But I didn't actually want to pass the whole turn there. I'm gonna discard 1 Logic Knot. Because it's very unlikely that we are getting to play both. So he bought a Braid against Damping Sphere. Interesting. So I think this time we're... The Monomorphose is definitely something that we're taking. Yeah, probably 1 Ritual. Which one's the one? Desperate one that has split into Arcane. It was like, yeah, that I clicked through the last turn, having not played Snapcaster Mage. It was misclick, of course, but it won't be game deciding. Right. Had to discard again. And he discarded Steam Vent, so he has 6 powerful cards in hand that he wants to keep. Oh, a Remand. That's pretty good. Although all these are reactive spells. Sleight of hands. Only has 24 cards left in his library. And he should be playing 3 Empty the Warrens by now. Like, this might also be him going off. Just doing it. Yeah. Alright, so he does have a Dispel. We're dispelling here. He will dispel our dispel. And then we're facing a lot of tokens. Unless, what happens if we try to counter here with the logic knot? We can only do it for one. But if he, no, he does have a remand, right? But if he spends 2 mana here, then you would have to have another ritual, which might not be the case. Well, we need to get rid of the remand anyway, right? At some point. Let's see first if he does something else. Probably only has one shot here. No, it's not gonna be good. That's not gonna be good. So it's 12 tokens already. Yeah, we can't complain. I mean, he did have access to basically his whole deck at this point. Oh, now he's trying to remand his thing. So we take 8 here. He remands it and plays it again. So we're trying to counter the remand just for him to not be able to play the grape shot again this turn, and hope that he runs out of gas. Oh no, he has another grape shot in hand. Oh my god. Yeah, well, alright. Off to game number 3. Anything that we want to change? No, I don't think so. Maybe yes. Maybe yes. I mean, there was nothing that was really... But it's good to know that he does have 2 grape shots post board. Again, 2 mana hands, and we really need 3 mana to function. Good. I'm playing this in case we draw a rest in peace, and by then I want to have deployed, like I'll aggressively deploy the Snapcaster Mages here. Because post board, these games tend to, he tends to be a little more reactive in what he does. This spell, of course, also doesn't function against Spellquiller, and therefore if he plays a Baral here, I'd actually be good with that. And now we're being as aggressive as possible. We could take this as well, but that's probably not worth it. Thing is that we never have access to Snapcaster, Bolt, and Spellqualler. We have 4 mana now, we would need at least 6 to do that. Therefore, we're just gonna do this now, and then he didn't play an additional land source, which is relevant as well. So 2-turn clock, he doesn't know about what we do have in hand. Maybe we can force him to play here with our third. Okay. Now he has to be careful, probably just fetching for an island, but that should be enough, of course. Alright, there's a Baral. So I think without the Baral he should be able to combo off. And if he remounts it, he doesn't have another, like, he can't dispel it if he remounts it. Then we should still be good. Also, we have lethal on board now. And also he needs to Grape Shot kill us. He cannot empty the warrens here. I mean, he can, of course. Maybe he can. Alright, now he's just hoping that we don't have a burn spell. Sure. GG's. Alright, cool. Got there in the end. Alright, that was it for round number 2. We've played very combo heavy decks up until now. Let's see what awaits us in round number 3. See you then. Welcome to round number 3. That was a very fast match. Let's see. This time we're a little land heavy, but we won't complain on the draw. 3 is the perfect land size in the opener. Let's see, Hollow One or Mardu Pyromancer? Or Grixis? Shadow. So he's already down to 13 here, so probably turn 2 Shadow. Even for Jeskai, that's a little problematic. So this could mean that he wants to finish the game off before we get to turn 4. Or he's just protecting his shadow here, of course. Yeah, I think we need to deploy Search for Skanta, yeah. If he does have a counter spell, then that's fine anyway, because otherwise he would have countered either the Lightning Helix or the Logic Knot. Okay. And we need to find a path to exile. That's why the search was kind of like, we're not winning this game. Elsewise. That looks like a go making there. And he does have protection. Ooh. This might be our only chance here. Deploying the Geist. Yeah, we're one turn too slow here. If we were on the play this game, I think we would have. We could have went through it rather easily. Being on the draw against Shadow, and he's playing 5/1 mana spells. Really not so good. Yeah, that's a recent adaptation. Faithful Switching just so broken that people are also doing using it in Shadowlist. But by now, I mean, you can even. By now, Grixis Shadow is basically a combo deck. But it also reduces the number of cards in his hands. And him not taking the Snapcaster Mage here of course Spellqueller can counter his cards without him being able to spell Pierce, the ferocious spell. But Snapcaster Mage on the other hand is a blocker, so let's see what he discards here. If we find a Bolt, that would be great, because we would probably at least get 3 damage through. Damages. And a Path to Exile would also be pretty good. Yeah, Stubborn Denial and a Snapcaster Mage. He must be loaded. Probably a removal spell. Yeah, we're gonna take this. No Bolt. Sure. Yeah, there's no way we're playing around that one. So I think Search for Skanta is actually pretty good here. Lyra probably also get pretty good. Sell the Wreckage could come in handy. And then there is the question of recipes. Generally speaking, of course, the graveyard is pretty important for a shadow list. But I think We do have the pathway exiles and therefore pathway exiles and search for scansers, and I think that should be enough for us to keep on parity in terms of mana efficiency. And then Recipe is just a dead card that we bring in. And no matter what, like during that turn, there's no way I block. He's attacking with 10. Maybe he has another creature, or maybe he doesn't. I'm not gonna calculate like the chances of him having a land and a bolt, like one of his 2 bolts that he's playing main in his hand. And I mean, he could also be bluffing or whatever, you know. Yeah, this is a good hand. Since they are only playing 2 basic lands, Field of Ruin and Path of Exile together, pretty strong. It's gonna take our second path here as well, but for that reason we didn't bring in Rest in Pieces, because otherwise our successive Snapcaster mages aren't gonna be that good. Could also decide to counter this, yeah. Thought so. England. I think I'm just gonna deploy it here. So right now he doesn't have the ability of killing a spell queller unless he is sandbagging a fetch land, and even then it's unlikely that he does have the correct removal for it. Okay, there's a fetch land. Great. Of course it's not great. If we take him down to 3, yeah, he can just kill us. Alright, so he knows about this one. We're passing the turn. Four, so he's in colonnade range now. Either he has a removal spell or he has a Timo Battle Rage. Unbelievable. All right. Yeah, of course, it's also problematic now because we won't be able to shock even if we get to survive this turn. There's a Snapcaster Mage. Come on. Well, I couldn't wait for his turn, of course, as well, because otherwise if he does have a Timo Battle Rage, then he just deploys that one. No, I think it was correctly played. Yeah. Just him having insane rolls. And us not drawing Snapcaster Mage. Alright, let's go to round number 3. I'll just go. And I mean, of course, like if he has discard, go make Angler, there's Shadow. Yeah, there's not much you can do. Right. Always nice to have a search for Scancer turn 2. And that Shadow, of course, still is a real deck. But with everybody playing, you know, Path to Exiles and all the bowls and stuff. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So we're playing mill here. Could also be some weird... Oh, come on. Come on. Always the fucking same shit. Unreal. Well, at least our search for Scancer gets flipped. Yeah, alright. So apparently we're facing here all the shit again. I mean, yeah, let's put it to the graveyard. Because it'll draw as a card anyway. There's a Snapcaster Mage. That is a good draw, of course. But probably too late. We moved over our 2 guys already. We do have a couple of Lightning Angels left. And we also do have a couple of cryptic commands left. So the thing is, if he does have a land drop, we mill 6 cards, right, with a fetch land. Otherwise, we'll just mill 4. So we're just gonna do that. And then we're logic knotting for a lot here to turn off a couple of his cards. So all the dead cards in our graveyard are gonna go. To turn off, I don't know, the 1 mana cantrip that says if your opponent has more than 20 cards in graveyard, draw 3 instead of 1. So our life total doesn't really matter. Only this thing matters. It's 1 card left in his hand. Up to 2 again. So the thing is, I just want to get rid of that one with a cryptic. Great. And we also have a cryptic in our graveyard, so that we can utilize Search for Scanta and not just die to the mill. What's this shit? Fuck my life. That's really annoying. So hopefully he's not playing counter spells. That'd be horrendous for us. But we haven't given up on the game yet. 19 life is a lot to overcome. But maybe we can. I'm just waiting for him, like... No, he can do that at any point. Probably does it by the end of turn now. So we cannot use Field of Ruin. Come on, Donut. Yes. Heatron crap. So he's gonna follow up with the Mesmeric Orb and the land. Certainly cannot use Search for Scanta here. 1, 2, we still have that. Okay. Lightning Angel would have been something that we had liked. Also, Ghostly Prison. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about ghostly prison mates. We do have enough mana. No. So let's see. We definitely do have a couple of other removal spells. So Borrow, of course, is really good in the deck because you can just combo it with the Hedron Crab. If we draw, like, drawing a card with Search for Sconsa here is better than drawing a card with Opt because we get more looks. We need to kill the Hedron Crab first before we can kill this. There's a Lightning Bolt, which we'll take. Then we're gonna kill the Hedron Crab. Alright, then we're gonna kill that thing. Okay. Then we're gonna attack with this. Pay 2. Yes. Catching that one. Each opponent's upkeep, yeah. In your graveyard, okay. Come on, motherfucking shit. What a top deck. Yeah, so we basically only have one more turn after this one. We draw another Snapcaster Mage. So we do have 7 mana. We could attack for 4, he goes to 10. We definitely cannot bounce. We definitely cannot draw. So we need to bounce this. Ten, 6, what's the last card in our deck? A Lightning Angel? No. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think the last card in our deck is a Spell Queller. Nope, it's not the Spell Queller. What is the last card? 3. Alright, it might just be a land. A land or an opt? No, it's a land, I believe. So Snap Path here. Cannot play Snap Now we can also place a bolt. That's also not a problem. Let's more the top deck. I land there and we win. Oops, no, not draw a card. Nope. Alright, one of these. I'm also going to board Ceremonious Rejection, just in case. Dispels as well. And that's it. That's it. Electrolyze, definitely not something for this matchup. Pathx I probably neither. Alright. Let's win this. Keep. So opponent having a rough start here. Oh, starting the game with the feeder room, that's nothing you want to see. Gonna fetch you during the upkeep. In case he does have an archive trap. Two feeder room is great. So, although Search for Skanta is pretty good, we do have a decent hand. And I think I just want to deploy Spellquest here first. As long as he appears to be stuck on mana. So we get in some chip damage. It's always the turn you tap out for something that, you know, it happens. So you actually drew a trap now, which is fine because for that exactly we brought in the dispels, and now I'm ready to deploy Search for Skanta just because if he's playing a Mantis Scribe or a Hedron Crab here, then we do have a Lightning Bolt to get rid of that. Did he sandbag the shit, or is he just drawing No and yes. All right. The ability of Lightning Angels to just not be tapped during the attack step really makes it a perfect card for this matchup. And I think by now he's so far behind. I don't see him winning this anymore. I'm gonna go for an island here, just because if he goes skip the step, archive trap, then I want to have the dispel up again. The problem with Field of Ruin is that you have to search your library. There's no way around it. Now, I'm not gonna show him the word. He might suspect it, but since we're winning this game anyway, because we haven't milled over Weta yet as well. This is the card that I meant before, but yeah, go ahead, draw whatever you want. Unless there's a no mana cost, you win the game card in there. I think we're good. Alright, off 2 rounds, well, game number 3. Playing all these combo-centric decks, like our Grixis deck would have been better, generally speaking. But it's not too bad. Like, we still have a lot of play. But with Grixis against Mill, he stands no chance. You have a lot of discard, you have the removal, you have Kolaghan's command main. It's not the best hand per se, but we're gonna keep all the lightning bolts and especially wear tear. Shelter Island. Also good that we do have Field of Ruin here to kill the Shellock. Sure. Just need to find one more land. Come on, one land. Okay. There we go. Now I'm good with the hand. Okay. That's not a very strong play here. And he has so many utility lands that I want to get rid of. And interestingly, like, he's playing completely different to other mill decks, right? The usual mill cards are in blue-black, which he doesn't utilize at all whatsoever. Okay. Sure. Does surgical extraction trigger archive trap? I don't believe so. I think it's only if you search your own library, not if your opponent searches your library. But anyhow. Yeah, Cryptic Command, you know, isn't great that we lost access to that one, or that he hit it with the 4 cards. But guys, it's a good roll. And now we can actively race him again. I don't think that he has a way to get rid of the Geist. And he knows the contents of our hand. It's at least 9 damage in our hand as of now. Over the course of 2 turns, Shellock Island also a slow land. I'm not going to use the Scalding Tarn. We can still utilize it if we really need to, but as long as we're good with... So he has 1 more turn left, right? So either he kills us now and mills 42 cards in our deck, or we're likely gonna kill him. Ghostly Prison. That, you know, the thing is, that's not even a problem because Geist only requires us to pay 2. And we're just gonna bold here. Bold. And of course we also have white hair, so wouldn't be a problem anyway. And he knows about our hand. If he plays Surgical Extraction here, which he probably still has in hand, then we're just bolting from our hand. It's also not a problem. I thought about all these lines and don't think that he has a way out here. Hopperduk. Hopperduk. Oh, he has a spell pierce. Interesting. You stole that, mate. Alright, 3-1. I'm just gonna do the same thing over again and then start round 3 out. So see you guys in round number 5. Welcome to round number 5, only 2 seconds after round number 4 has finished. What a strange league. What a strange league. We haven't played any tier deck yet. Well, Storm maybe. But, I mean, the rest of those were just pretty fridge. Two guys on the play with an opt. Is this keepable? Probably not. I wonder if I like, you know, start singing stuff. No, that's a cover, right? My YouTube videos cannot be blocked by that happening. All right, so we're up against humans in our last round here, and we usually should have a decent matchup against humans, but I don't want to waste my time with cantrips. And instead, oh my god, Moto. Being on the play here with a search to for Escanta is important. Search is of course always better on the play, but especially against humans, search can be a liability, and it might even still be in this matchup. Although if we do get a grip on this game, then it will be because of the search. And apparently he has 6 fucking creatures in his hand, and we only have 1 removal spell. No. Nope, not into my graveyard, please. So both sides are somewhat, oh my god, stuck on mana here. And it's not pretty. We have like a super bad hand. Like, super bad. Oh man, is our hand bad. And we also want to flip the search for a while, so yeah, that's that. That is that. On the other side, you know, at least we're somewhat immune to Kitesail freebooters here. But now we're ramping him, you know, it's all not turning out great here. Blue, an island, interesting. So he probably has another fetch, another basic land to fetch off. But we'll reduce his hand to being 4 relevant creatures. Yes, Lightning Angel has to go into our graveyard, as good as it is. Oh, now comes the Kitesail. Yeah, have fun, mate. I don't even give a flying shit. And you know, this is always a thing, can always happen. Even for us that are playing a lot more low to the ground interaction. And that's right, so he's not expecting to use his mana anymore, apparently, to play anything. I don't know, like, even if you have a meddling mage or another Kaiser freebooter, I don't know why you wouldn't take the logic knot here. Of course, Cryptic Command is the more powerful card, but yet still. Logic knot now makes us play a little awkward. Otherwise, you could vomit everything onto the board here. So let's see. He either has a Restoration Angel, we're still trying to accumulate mana here. So Restoration Angel would be a possibility. Could also just play the another Kitesail freebooter, or Phantasmal Image, of course. What happens? I mean, Kitesail isn't really anything that we care about, because he's gonna take the other Cryptic, but he still has like 2 power on board. So now I believe this could be a meddling mage, right? So let's see. Should we opt here? Is opt the better play? Pathing any of these doesn't seem to be very effective. I just don't like, if he is playing melee mage here, I just don't want him to name Snapcaster Mage. Could of course also just be a Thalia's Lieutenant, and that'd be equally bad. But then we couldn't do anything about it, you know. Yeah, and by him like hesitating now, I'm pretty sure that he was gonna play a meddling mage. Yeah. All right, so we perfectly played around that one, and maybe he doesn't even have a Thalius Lieutenant in hand right now. Because I think he was actually debating on whether or not he wants to use the Etherwild activation or not. But that we are so far from flipping Search for Skanta is really a boon. On the upside though, any Spell Queller is okay, any Lightning Angel would be really good. Yeah, Lightning Bolts. So Meddling Mage doesn't have a trigger, it just enters the battlefield and then has its special ability. Alright. So he has the utmost disruptive draw here. This already takes away a lot of our capabilities. But on the upside, yeah, an Electrolyze would be really good here. Alright. No. Thank you. So let's see. Sooner or later, of course, we have to kill these two. But we also need to stay alive up until that moment. So I'm thinking about waiting here still. Can't deploy two Thalius Lieutenants. I don't think we can get punished here by waiting. Because if he does have an angel, a Restoration Angel in hand, which is still very possible, could also be a Reflector Mage, but I think if he's attacking with just one Kitesaw Freewer for 3 again, then we're Lightning Helixing him here. Get back Cryptic Command, and then if he Restoration Angels, we block the Restoration Angel with our Lodging Knot, or counter it rather. Yep. Because he doesn't have really good attacks here, right? So we get one Cryptic back. Probably. I think he has a Restoration Angel in hand. One, two should be enough, right? Yeah, that was a blowout, mate. That was a blowout for you. So we basically won 2 turns here. Got a cryptic command back. Got rid of the Restoration Angel that we had been playing around all the game, which was really annoying. What's going on here? Matakash. Is that a regret that I'm smelling? Of course, this keeps us from playing, from flipping Search for Scat anytime soon, but at least I kept one path to exile. Alright, Champion of the Parish is a problem, and as soon as he has Athalia's Lieutenant, that would, oh my god, definitely go. Go! Alright. Lightning Angel, now that we do have the time. So we need to, well, I mean, he has 2 to redraws and 2 Ethervial, so bricking is certainly not an option. But for us, it would be enough already if he just drew didn't draw into Thalia's Lieutenants here. That'd already be enough of a brick. Our opponent, by the way, is one of the slowest. Another Restoration Angel. What the fuck, man? Oh, well, it can, yeah. That's basically the only. And now he's resetting it to Cryptic Command, probably. Growing the Champion of the Parish, which will then be able to attack for 4. Pretty good draw. A double blocking here isn't really great. I think we need to put it to the graveyard. Alright, that's cool. That is actually cool. So let's see. We bolt here, have our Cryptic Commands, tap his team, hope that he doesn't draw a Phantasmal Image, and then flip Search for Scanter next turn and attack for 9. Something like that. Something like that, right? Could also go after the Kitesail Freebooter somewhere down the line. But the Meddling Mage certainly is what is not good for us here. I attack with Lightning Angel, he could double block. That would get us the cryptic commands, but I still don't think, like, then we don't have any pressure anymore. So maybe that would even not be worth it. Okay, that's good. Tap the team and draw a card. There's another Lightning Angel. That is also pretty good. Ooh. No. Yes. So we could attack here and then go snap Cryptic again. Next turn plug Lightning Angel. There's basically only two creatures that would punish this. Reflector Mage and the Mantis Rider. That would now block the Snapca's Caster Mage profitably. We could of course also just deploy the Lightning Angel, rumble in for 8, and then have Snap Bolt up. But that seems to be the worst line to me. Because he can still, you know, find a Phantasmal Image, a Meddling Mage, something like that. And just randomly name Lightning Bolt or Snapcaster Mage. We also have Celestial Colonnade, of course, as a backup plan. Let's see what he does here. So he actually does have another 2-drop. And this time it's a Thalia's Lieutenant. Yeah, if we had played the Lightning Angel and just went in for 8, I think we would have needed to block the champion, and then we still, yeah, that's still lethal. All right. So I think that, again, was the right play there. And now I'm doing this before anything happens, just so that he can't draw a Meddling Mage, Freebooter, or Phantasmal Image. So yes. Oh shit. So what's our best play here? Let's say he draws he drew a Reflector Mage or a Mantis Rider, right? Either of those, or a phantasmal image. That's also always to be considered. Then he bounces, Lightning Angel, blocks a Snapcaster Mage, and takes 5, goes to 1. That way he stays alive. If we just attack, but that would only be possible if we didn't attack with the Colonnade, right? If we attack with the Colonnades, he's bouncing the Colonnades, blocking a Snapcaster Mage, still taking 5. And we die on the swing back. If we attack with Lightning Angel, Snapcaster Mage, and Snapcaster Mage for 7, and then activate Search for Scancer, and find the Lightning Bolt or Lightning Helix, he dies. But that's not a given, of course. Alright, yeah, I think I'm just gonna deploy, because if he has a Reflector Mage, which I think is the only card that really saves him here, it doesn't matter if he's bouncing the Colonnades or Lightning Angel, because he will always just take 5. Therefore, this way at least we have 2 blockers, and 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think this way we could theoretically stay alive. But if he has a Reflector Mage, then we should probably... No, we need to, because if he has a Mantis Rider and we don't attack with the Snapcaster Mage, then he blocks the Mantis Rider, takes 5, doesn't die. Yeah, alright, we're just going all in here. Alright. Well, it was still important. With 2 dead cards in hand, couldn't play the Path of Exiles. Alright, we want to have this... I think we want to have the Timely Reinforcements as well. Probably 1 Stony Silence for 1 search on the draw. And that's it. And then get rid of all. Yeah, I think actually I'm gonna keep the Cryptics. It makes our curve a little expensive. Maybe I'm just taking out this one and 1 Cryptic. Yeah, he's definitely keeping another Stony Silence. If he was playing Reflector Mages, he's definitely keeping them in because of all the creatures. I think it's a keep. On the draw, we have 2 mana, we have a Snapcaster Mage and a Lightning Bolt, so any mana is good. This one doesn't tap for Nethervile though, so we have a little bit of space there. Yes. Dahlia. All the lieutenants. Oh man. Yeah. Champion of the Parish is too important to let it alive. Let it be alive here. Because it could be growing out of board range during this turn, and we don't have Path to Exile, and we don't even have white mana, so I'd much rather just take 2 here a turn. That's a good one. Yep. Probably taking our Electrolyze, since that's just wrecking his current board state. All right. So this enables us to play Spell Queller, which is one of the most important cards that we have access to here right now, because exactly for this scenario where we have a 3 toughness blocker, it's super important. And of course, it's also good against Cavern of Souls. So no matter what he plays, we're gonna catch it. Worst case scenario, of course. Champion of the Parish. Feel like he has a Reflector Mage coming. No, let's just let it resolve here. Our opponent, by the way, is like, alright, can't be countered, but it can be Spell Queller. Alright, sell the wreckage. Good. So we have a couple of options. I think I'm just going to go with Timely Reinforcements here. We're getting 6 life and 3. All right, just chatting a little bit with our opponent here. Yeah, we're not attacking. We just want to keep those cards here at bay. And then next turn we do have Snapcaster up and sell the wreckage, of course. Another champion. No, and he does have a Reflector Mage. Is this a fucking joke? Alright. So now we actively need to draw. So again, anticipated everything correctly. Now we need to draw another white source to just give him the blowout. Doesn't have any additional information about our hand. And this is, of course, I mean, best case scenario for our opponent. And we'll be trying to keep alive as long as possible. In order to... yeah, I'm good with this. I am good now, alright. I think we're gonna block next turn this and this, and just take 6 here. It's not perfect. Good, of course. No, it's also not good. Just, oh, come on, there's a freebooter. That's even worse. Come on. What a top deck. Oh man. And I bet next turn we're drawing the white source. Yep. Okay, we're gonna double block the Reflector Mage to get that off the table. Take 5, go to 11. Opponent was pretty lucky with how all this evolved and turned out. Meddling Mage. Phantasmal Image. Oh man. Is there any way that we don't lose this turn? So this and this is already 11. We cannot let this Phantasmal Image resolve. We can also not opt because of the Thalia. Let's see. What the fuck? Yeah, that had to be a mistake here. And that actually keeps us in the game. That was unfortunate for our opponent, because now we can take out the Thalia and block something and don't need to just sacrifice our Spell Queller. because now we can spell queller, block the spell queller here. Have Lightning Angel to block here, kill this thing, and then block one of the big ones here with our. This ought to be a metal image though, right? Another phantasmal image? What the fuck is going on here? Oh man. Wait, why is he drawing so well? Don't understand. Do not understand. So we'll stay alive this turn, and we somehow need to find a spot where I don't think that he's gonna. Well, maybe he is. No, maybe he's not. He's probably just gonna copy the Thalia's Lieutenant. Yeah. Maybe we should have killed the Thalia's Lieutenant. Yeah, I think so too. I think he's gonna lose to time as well. Alright. Block. So this one's definitely gonna block there. This is 11 damage. This is 11 damage as well. So we're probably just gonna block here and there. Man, those draws were pretty good. At some point we almost had it. Maybe we should have killed the Thalia's Lieutenant, but then we still face... Yep, he's definitely gonna lose the time now. Oops. That's not relevant. So one more turn that we live. Yeah, and it's tough. It really is tough. But I do think, like, just with one or two worse cards that he drew when he was drawing phantasmal images, I actually think that we would have won the game. Because we actually had him at a spot where we could just 2 turns fly over him and then win it. Now he has 40 seconds, minus 19. Alright, on the play I'm gonna put out a thing here again and put in search for Scansa again. That is certainly a hand with which we can lose. This is also not great. Alright. It's better. Hopefully it'll keep us in the game for 30 more seconds. And that's all that we require here. Unless he has something super broken here. That's a good one again. But I do believe that spell quotas should take enough time off the clock. Yeah, now it's over. Really good games. I don't think that we would have won the last one. And we have to be honest about it. So that was our 50th qualifier points. And so it's somewhat of a little anniversary here for us. Other than that, pretty happy with the list. Also like the timely reinforcements, I gotta say. Yeah. Also timely reinforcements really good against Mardu. Like if you're having troubles with Mardu, then you want to play more timelies. Hope you enjoyed the videos and see you around next time, guys.